Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's me, Crazyfrankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my AFC and NFC Championship picks. Before I talk about the conference championship games, quick thoughts from the NFL playoffs divisional round. Now, where to begin with the divisional round? I definitely have to start with the New England Patriots. Now, I did pick the Patriots to win, even though people who know me on a personal level know I am a huge Chargers fan. I really didn't give them much hope because anytime any playoff games in Foxborough, New England is just too dominant at home. Since this whole timing, the Patriots have only lost two home games. Let me think. They've only lost 3 times at home in the playoffs. And 2 of those were to Baltimore, and 1 of them was to the Jets in 2010. Now, as far as I look at it this way, look, the Chargers, I didn't give them much chance. As I said, when it comes to the playoffs, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are just that good in the postseason. No matter what kind of game plan does your team have and all, when it comes down to it, it's just that the Pats are just too good at home. They're just like, it's hard to stop them. It's hard to stop them during the playoffs. And even though they won't have home field during the AFC Championship game, they will be going to Kansas City, and I'll talk a little bit about KC in just a minute here. Their chances of reaching a Super Bowl are just too good right now. And it pains me. I wanted to see the upset last week, but I knew the Chargers didn't have enough. They got beat up last week by Baltimore, and Tom Brady, he just knows how to pick defenses apart. Going from the other divisional round games, KC finally got off the schneid. They got one monkey off their back. They haven't won a home playoff game since 1994. And they finally broke through the spell, and that's some sort of small curse. But now they got another hurdle and another curse to worry about, and that's the Patriots. That, to me, setting up... the Colts really did not play all that well. And despite the fact that KC's defense didn't play all that well against the Colts, the Colts really basically just hurt themselves. They basically just hurt themselves the entire game. They just couldn't score any points. And weather was a key factor in here. KC was blessed that they had a blizzard going through KC, which could help them in the AFC Championship. As far as I know, the forecast calls for a small bit of snowy weather heading into that game. So this could help KC. I don't know. But yeah, they had home field advantage, and obviously the weather played a huge role in them winning against the Colts. Now in the NFC, big kudos to the Rams. They stuck to their game plan. They did a great job on the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys did make it a game, but really, the big factor in that big win for the Rams was really C.J. Anderson. It wasn't Jared Goff, even though he made some good key passes and a key first down by rushing, as much as Todd Gurley did a good job in the rushing game. But C.J. Anderson was the MVP of that game. He really did a great job of really just putting the Cowboys defense just guessing so much of whether they will give the ball to Gurley or will Goff do play action. The Cowboys just didn't have an answer for C.J. Anderson. And that could be a key role for him going into next week's game against the Saints. Obviously, the game of the weekend definitely was the Saints and the Eagles. Now, obviously, a big thing that happened late in the game. Now, the Eagles jumped out to they dominated the first quarter of that game when it looked like they will be able to pull the upset here, but the Saints adjusted very well in that game, and they did a fantastic job of really coming back and beating the Eagles. Now, the key part of that game was the interception. Alshon Jeffrey had a ball that slipped right through his hands, and it was intercepted. And he obviously took the loss and all that. Now, Eagles fans, please don't give him any crap, okay? It was just bad luck that pass went right through him and it was intercepted, because if he would have caught that ball, no question the Eagles would have been in the red zone, and I think they would have won. Saints got lucky on the interception, and please don't give him any crap. Come on. But one key factor in the Saints defense, Sheldon Rankin, defensive tackle, tore his ACL, and that could be a big factor going into the NFC Championship when you don't have one of your best defensive tackles. So other than that, it was kind of it was like a 50-50 sort of divisional weekend in terms of I thought it was great, and most of the games turned out to be blowouts. Anyways, now let's talk about the conference championship games. Let's begin with the AFC Championship game. The New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 3-point favorite in this one, and that should not be 3 points. That number should be maybe 2, maybe a point and a half going into game time. That game against the Colts, really, their offense played very well, and they're going to need to play that more dominant against Tom Brady. They got this may be the Chiefs' biggest game they've ever had in a long time, other than Super Bowl IV. This game could not be more important to KC as it is for the Patriots. Now, Brady in the big dominant win over the Chargers, 34-44, 343 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Patrick Mahomes in a big win over the Colts last week, 27-41, 278 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. Key points for the Chiefs to win this game. They got to be able to establish the run. Mahomes has got to be able to really fool that Patriot defense if they want any chance of beating the Pats. They may have the home field. They may have the weather in their favor. But the Patriots are cockroaches. No matter how many times you try to step on them, they will come back. Brady and the Pats really established the run last week, and their defense now is playing with more confidence, and that to me spells trouble. Now, for New England, all they have to do, establish the run, take the pressure off of Brady, and Brady can mince it up with the passing game. And their defense may, if they can hold KC at bay, they may pull the upset here. Yes, Patriots are underdogs in this game. Who am I have going in this game? It is too difficult to not go against Brady. I'm sorry to say, Chiefs fans, but I think regardless of the home field and the weather that could be a factor here, I see the Patriots winning this game. Mahomes and that Chiefs team are going to be a team to be reckoned with for a lot of years. But like the Bears, they may have peaked too early. This is the type of game that Tom Brady and the Pats know how to win. I don't think I see the Chiefs winning this game. This game I think is going to be a shootout. It is going to be a good game. But when it comes to experience for so many years with the Pats and all that, I'm picking the Patriots. The Patriots just have that experience, and it is so difficult for me to go against them. I see the Patriots winning the AFC Championship. In the NFC Championship game, the Los Angeles Rams versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Now with the injury to Rankin, I think that number should be going down to 2.5, maybe 2 points. Jared Goff last week in the big win over the Cowboys, 15 of 28, 186 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Basically, the running game did all the work in that game. Now, for the Saints, they got lucky. Breeze went 28 of 38, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Obviously, the Saints struggled in that game, but luckily they came back to win. This might be the game to watch. Is it going to be high scoring? I think so. This may be probably a back-and-forth affair. The last time this happened, the Saints and the Vikings, when that game went back and forth in the 2009 NFC Championship game. There's no question the home field advantage really plays a huge factor for the Saints. It's been a long time during the Sean Payton and Drew Brees era that the Saints have lost at home in a playoff game. The Rams have a tough task ahead, but they did get some sort of help with the injury to Rankin on the defensive side for the Saints. So the run game now could be more established now for the Rams. This is a very tough pick here. This is not going to be the same thing that happened back in the regular season where the Rams lost to the Saints by 10 or 14 or something like that. I forgot the score of that game. This is going to be a much more difficult game for the Saints, and they know it. With some injuries they have, it is going to be tough to say who wins this game here. But I'm still going to go with the New Orleans Saints here. They're just too good at home. It's hard to beat them in New Orleans. It'll be a close game, no question, but I'm going to pick the New Orleans Saints here. I think the Saints will win this game. It'll be a much closer game, probably win by a field goal, and it would not surprise me if this game goes into overtime. So, yeah, home field for me is enough to say that the Saints beat the Rams here. The Saints, I think, will be the NFC champions. So that is my prediction for the Super Bowl 53. It is going to be the New England Patriots versus the New Orleans Saints in the Super Bowl. Remember, this is just a prediction. Who can say all this can change? But that is my prediction for the conference championship games, and those are your two representatives in my prediction for the Super Bowl. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks when we talk about the Super Bowl. And I'll be making that pick then. And until then, enjoy Championship Sunday, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks when I make my Super Bowl pick. Take care.